welcome back to the Corner of Craft. What a surreal time we're living in right now. Anyone else feeling that? It's a bit weird. It's very unknown, and it's just quite a lot. I've now started this podcast. This is the third time I've started the podcast because I don't really know what to say. I hope you're all staying well. I hope you're all staying healthy. Wash your hands. Everyone's fed up of hearing that, aren't you? And I bet you're all sick of hearing happy birthday. But hopefully I will be able to provide you with some welcome distraction during this bizarre time that just feels like something out of a sci-fi film. Only in a sci-fi film it would be heightened a bit more. But still, it's weird because it's real. You know? Maybe that's just me. So you may have noticed my hair colour has changed, so that's very exciting. I got it done for Yorkshire Yarn Fest, so that's meant to be happening on Saturday. Unfortunately, due to this weird thing, coronavirus, everyone's heard of it, everyone knows what it is. You all know what I'm talking about, I don't have to spell it out. Unfortunately, it has been cancelled. But if you got my newsletter yesterday, day before, whenever, you would know this. It's being switched to online. So that's very exciting. It's going to be a virtual yarn fest, which in my opinion is far better because it means wearing pajamas all day, drinking tea all day. You can shop while you're playing Animal Crossing, which comes out soon, tomorrow I believe. And people that couldn't go to Yorkshire because you might be in a different country can still enjoy the yarn show, so that's super exciting. What's less exciting is all of the other yarn shows in April and May have also been cancelled, so a lot of indie dyers and other yarny folk whose income is heavily reliant upon yarn shows are deeply affected. So it's a bit of a stressful time for us all, but we just gotta do what we can to rally through this. I'm very excited to go shopping on Saturday, as in the virtual yarn show. So on my bank account, I've gone off track pieced. I haven't done my usual intro. I'll come back. So in my bank account, what it does is whenever I pay for anything, it rounds it up to the nearest whole pound. And then all that extra money that I didn't actually buy the thing goes into a separate account which I've called my yarn fund, and I haven't touched it since I opened this bank account, and it's been a fair while now. So I've got quite the yarn fund in there, so I'm excited to go shopping on Saturday with my designated yarn fund. Anyway, my name is Hannah, as I've already said. I am the mastermind, I don't know if you can call it that, behind the Corner of Craft, the business owner I suppose. I make tiny beaded stitch markers. They're incredibly cute, and I also dye yarn because it's fun, and those colourways are inspired by the nerdy game Dungeons and Dragons. So it's very exciting. If you'd like to follow me on social media, please feel free. Let's do it this side. Links can all be found in the description box below, as well as a link to my Ravelry group, where I write podcast notes and talk to you about the things that I've been talking about in the podcast. So if you want to know what pattern I've knit, what yarn I've used, what stitch count I used on my whatever, check the Ravelry notes. Thanks. I like to drink tea. I'll talk to you about what tea I have and some exciting news there. And I'm coming at you today from a very overcast Nottingham in the UK. School kids are running around still, which is nice to see, because schools will be closing in the UK for many people come Friday or after Friday. It's just so weird. It's so bizarre. It's going to annoy me. I can barely believe it's real, and I don't know if that's just me. It might just be me. Maybe it's just me. Anyway, I'll stop talking about it. Kind of. I won't. You know I won't. I've not left the house in 2 days, so I might have to go for a walk today. I think I'll get a bit cabin fever, you know. I work from home anyway, so that bit isn't deeply affected. Let's talk about what tea I'm drinking today, shall we? The tea I'm drinking today isn't a black tea for once. Usually I'm all about the black teas, but today I'm drinking Bird & Blend, of course, Raspberry Apple Pie, which is a green tea that has hibiscus, apple pieces, rose hip, freeze-dried apple, freeze-dried raspberries, and natural flavourings in it. This smells like sour apple, but tastes much more raspberry. Does that make sense? It's part of their spring collection, which is super exciting. So my super exciting tea related news is that I have become a tea rep with Bird & Blend. This means that they send me tea to talk about on social media, create fun recipes with that they can use if they want to. And yeah, I've also been given an affiliate code, which is the same code as I had before, but it's HANNAHTEABIRDZO20. And basically you get 20% off your tea and your matcha. And the first time you use the code, I get a kickback my way, as is the part of affiliate codes. So essentially now I'm getting paid for the promotion I was doing for free anyway. If that makes sense. I've been a huge fan of Bird & Blend for ages and ages, and I will continue to be completely honest about my opinion of them. And yeah, I think that's everything. I will continue to be honest. If I don't like a tea, I'm going to tell you. I've got a tea downstairs called Cocoa Mountains, which is chocolate and almond. I've given it a sniff and I've thought, don't know if I'm going to like this, so I haven't made it yet. But maybe I'll do that this afternoon and try it and see, but I'm not convinced that's going to be my tea of choice. Not a huge fan of almond flavouring. But this tea is quite delightful. I didn't like green tea for the longest time. Then I realised I was making it wrong. I was using boiling water, which you're not supposed to do. And I was probably steeping it for way too long. You're meant to use that 80-degree water, so that's what I've started to do. I haven't quite got to the point of getting my thermometer out. I pour the water in a cup, I leave it for a while, then I add my tea leaves. I'll do it that way around. But yes, so that is my very exciting news that I have regarding Bird & Blend. They've got some really great tea at the moment. My personal favourite that they've currently got in the shop. I'm so excited they brought it back. It's Honey I'm Comb. It's so good. But yeah, I probably should have washed my hair today. My hair is kind of getting on my nerves because I should have washed it today. But I thought I want it to be nice and bright and vibrant for as long as possible. And I hate cold showers. So I just dry shampooed the living heck out of it. So it's just kind of a bit helmety. It's fine, it's fine. In regards to knitting, because I only found out that Yorkshire Yarn Fest was cancelled on Saturday. It was definitely the right choice. I kind of was hoping they would cancel it a bit earlier than that, but that doesn't matter, they still cancelled it, because my theory was, even if everything's progressed quite quickly, as we all know, even if everything hadn't progressed as quickly as it has, I just thought that I was going to travel all the way to Poppleton, which is a fantastic place name. I love it. I want to go just to have a picture with the sign at Poppleton. Kind of like when when my parents came to visit when we were living in Germany, and I made them come to Assmannshausen just so I could have a picture with the railway sign. Plus it's a very beautiful place, but Assmannshausen, how could you not have a picture there? Poppleton. Yes, I thought that no one was going to rock up, so I would probably end up losing money, whereas now I was very fortunate in that I hadn't paid for accommodation or anything. But yeah, I'm a bit concerned about the Wall Monty that's meant to be happening in mid-June. Pretty sure that might end up being cancelled as well. But yes. Oh, I've been accepted to another show. I'll get onto knitting in a second. I've been accepted into another yarn show this year. I am going very, very north. I'm going so north, I'm going to a different country. I am going to be vending at Perth Festival of Yarn. I'm very excited about this. I've never been to Perth, and I won't lie, I'm a bit oh, my voice cracked. I won't lie, I'm a bit nervous having to drive 5.5 hours all the way there, potentially by myself. So I need to get some long car journeys in. But yes, very excited to be vending at Perth and bringing the corner of craft up to Scotland. I'm so excited. So that is the 12th and 13th of September. Why have I already got stars on? Oh, because okay. The 12th and 13th of September, which is like the weekend before my 30th birthday. So it would mean so much if you were to come along to Perth, come for a holiday and come and help me celebrate my 30th birthday, because that would be so cool. I've never done a yarn show so close to my birthday before, so I'm very excited. Oh, and one more negative thing in regards to the dreaded C word, not that C word, the current situation C word, is Mario and I have sensibly decided to postpone our trip to Japan. Currently we've cancelled the hotel and our flights. Luckily we hadn't booked too much. See, there are perks of being disorganised sometimes. But yes, we should be able to get a voucher refund for the flights, and we're going to try and go next March, which are like maybe around Mario's birthday, because you know, it would be cool for him to spend his 30th birthday in Japan. He's always wanted to go, so we're both a little bit bummed about that, but also feel a bit better because we made the decision to cancel it instead of waiting to see what was going to happen. We made that decision like last week at some point, but I'm very disappointed. But if we go to Japan for a shorter period of time, it means that we can try and do like spend way more money on things and maybe try and do lots of experiences in a shorter time frame. Even if we just go to Tokyo for a week or something. I don't know. But yeah, let's get on to knitting, shall we? So, because I was prepping for a yarn show that didn't happen, I haven't had an awful lot of knitting time over the past month, because it's been a month since I last podcast. That's utter madness. But my parents were here last time I was meant to podcast, so I couldn't really podcast because they were here, and that would be weird. And so I have one kind of almost finished object, and that is finally my Home is With You shawl. I say kind of almost. Oh, there's a bit of fluff on it, because I've still got a few ends to weave in. I did a very good job of weaving in many of the ends, but there are many ends, so yeah, I've got to do all of these bits still, but the actual knitting portion is done, and I will show it next week or next podcast as well, when I've blocked it. This was a bit of a labour of love at some point. So I started this ages ago, and then I started after Christmas, I think January, which is ages ago. Oh, playtime's over, excuse me if you heard the whistle. But I kept getting distracted by knitting everything else, as I'm sure many of you can relate. So it's been a bit of a long slog, but at the same time worth it. It's really nice. So this pattern is the Home is With You shawl. It is a pattern by LITTON of the Crazy Sock Lady podcast, and it's just really nice. It uses 4-ply yarn. I used Art Equals Happy, which is a yarn sold at Alternate Universe, as in Alter Knit Universe, a shop in Bristol, in Cleve, I believe. The lovely Kim over there. And yeah, I bought this when we went for my birthday last year. And this is made from clay, something about clay, transformed from clay. And then this darker colour is Steve Trevor. Apparently they're both Wonder Woman references. I'm still not sure, but I believe whoever told me. And I had actually bought these yarns with the intention of making this shawl, which is so cool. So I only just dipped into the, this yarn comes in 50-gram balls. I've only just dipped into the 50 grams of the darker colour for the last little bit. So I've still got quite a lot of yarn left, which is quite exciting. And yeah, it became a long slog because the rows get so long. excuse you, as I'm sure many of you can relate. And then it was an I-cord bind off. My god, the I-cord bind off took me hours and hours and hours. Oh, I'm double shawling. Yeah, the I-cord bind off took me such a long time, but worth it. Oh, this double shawling thing doesn't really work. It just kind of makes my face exist. That made sense in my head, and then I said it out loud, and it doesn't make sense. And yes, Kim started to put some of this gorgeous yarn on her website. She participated in Operation Social Justice, as I did also, and made a colourway, a gorgeous purple colourway just for that. And yes, oh, beautiful. I'm really enjoying this yarn. So this yarn is special because it is recycled yarn. That means that Kim gets cones and such from charity shops, people's attics, wherever, and cleans them all up, dusts them all off, makes them pristine, and then holds multiple strands together of beautiful colour coordinated yarns. So this is 4-ply, and so I think it's actually just 3 very thin strands held together. Let's see if you can see this. Yes, which is pretty cool. And I thought it was going to be way more annoying to knit with than it was, and I tell you what, it wasn't annoying at all. It was actually quite delightful. But I've finished it. I just need to weave in many ends and then block it. Very exciting. I'm glad I've got it finished. But yeah, that's my only finished object, because I've not done a whole host of knitting. Ugh, so annoying. Okay, next up. I cast on something new. Should I show you that now? No, let's go back to the other things I've been knitting. So, next up, you've seen this before. Living in my The Little Grey Girl project bag, who is also participating in virtual Yorkshire Yarn Fest. Oh, I was meant to say, I'm going to be live streaming over on the Yorkshire Yarn Fest's Instagram page from 9:15 till 9:30 AM GMT on Saturday. I know many of you will be asleep. Many of you won't be. I'm pretty sure that's my time slot. Keep an eye on my Instagram. But that is the time slot I've been told, but it might change. But yes, I'm going to be live streaming on there, showing you my wares. Yarn and stitch markers, and yes, just as part of this. So oh, for God's sake, not the end of a row. So this is my everyday slouchy beanie hat. This is a pattern by TRYSTEN of Dragon Hoard Yarn. I got loads done, in my opinion. Doesn't mean I did. So I was only about here when I spoke to you last, and then ooh, I took this one, I went to the hairdressers and got loads done there. And then when did I knit as this as well? I've just been knitting on it sporadically every now and then if I want something mindless. This is my current sock, which is an issue because I do actually have some socks that I should be knitting, as they were Mario's birthday present, and his birthday was a fortnight ago. But yes, it's a really nice hat pattern. It's just as it sounds, an everyday slouchy hat. You hold 4-ply or sock weight yarn. They are the same thing. Together with a strand of fluff, aka mohair, something silk, mohair silk blend. And yeah, so I'm using chromatic yarns, which is my own hand-dyed yarn. On my tweed sock base in the colourway Tabaxi, which is like a cat person, which now the film Cats has come out, has ruined the phrase cat person forevermore. Just look up Tabaxi, Tabaxi. But I just imagine leopard print, and that was the kind of thing I was going for with this. And then I'm holding it double with a skein of kid silk, no, mohair, mohair and silk, kid mohair and silk, by Wriggle Fingers, and I believe this is in the colourway Imp. And I think I balled it up too tightly because it's got like loads of fluff bits sticking out, but it's fine. I'll just knit it with it, it will be fine. And yes, It's a double brim, so you do a provisional cast on, which I have done. It's a crochet provisional cast on, and it's my first provisional cast on. I've cast this on twice because I knit it with a twist in. I knit a Mobius, unintentional. And then yeah, I've got my purl row in, so then once I've knit this next bit the same length as the bottom brim, I can join them all together, and then I think the final bit should speed through because it's on a bit of a larger needle. But I'm using, ow, my fingers are so sore. I'm using 2.25mm needles right now. So it's a bit of a slog because I'm essentially just knitting a very long sock forever and ever and ever and ever. But I'm really excited to be able to wear it, especially with this new hair colour. I think it's gonna look grand. It would also look really nice when I've got every other hair colour, so good colour choice, me. Okay. The other thing that I'm working on that's living in my Wool and Vine yarns bag, oh, I don't know why I've put my needles in there, that's not helpful, is I've just put this on larger needles. I'm very excited. And now I've got leftover badgers, not leftover, but now I've got badger stitch markers going in the shop on Saturday, and I've got some spare. I can nab one for my project. I've currently got banana, and that's not particularly on brand. I haven't got very far through this. I think I was about here last time I saw you, and so I've knit one more chart, and I've just started the next one. Where's the back? Here. This is my Hogwarts, I don't know, Hufflepuff Pride sweater that I am currently test knitting for Megan of Babble of Girl Sits and Knits. Well, not strictly test knitting. Other people are actually test knitting it. I'm more knitting it. And yes, so I've got my paw prints in. I've just started a chart that stars. Then I get to separate the sleeves, and then I get to knit badgers, which I'm very excited about. I've pulled this over my head because I mentioned that I was worried it wouldn't fit over my head. I've pulled this over my head. It does fit. I am going to have to do my makeup after I've put it on though, otherwise I'm going to have this covered in foundation. But yeah, I'm really excited about it. It's really cute. The rows are getting quite long now, as one would expect. It's got to go over my shoulders. I'm not the narrowest of people. But yes, I have loved seeing everyone. I've been added to like a Instagram chat of all the people test knitting it. I'm loving seeing everyone's different jumpers, because there's a Gryffindor, Slytherin, Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff. There's one for each of us. And it's just really cool seeing everyone do it. So I am knitting DK weight 1. I am using chromatic yarns, 2 colours that I've basically dyed for the jumper that look a bit like a faded beanbag. This looks like a faded beanbag. And yes, I'm still on my first skeins, so I might not need my other yellow. We'll see. But yes, I'm very excited to separate the sleeves and to get this knit and just put some work into it now. Now I've not got Yorkshire Yarn Fest immediately, I can take a bit of a work break, I guess, kind of, and allow myself to knit a bit more. I forgot to say, check the description box for all links, for social media, everything. Also, Ravelry notes, I write them. Yes. Check it. All deets will be there. My phone kept buzzing. I might just put my phone on do not buzz. What's that called? Silent. That's the word I wanted. There we go. Because I'm getting distracted. I will also flip it over, because then I can't see when people message me. But yeah, I really love this jumper. It's really nice. I'm excited to see how it blocks out. It's my first, it's not my first colour work, it's my first DK colour work. And yeah, I realised doing short rows in DK is different from doing short rows in sock weight yarn, and you can't pull the stitches as hard because you get a weird bobbly bit. We're all learning. We are all learning. Yes. So, making headway with this. Very excited to knit a badger and then wear this. I think it's going to be worn quite a lot. So yeah, my DK weight yarn is 100% Superwash Blueface Leicester, so it should be quite hard wearing, and I should finish it just in time for the weather to improve and it to be too warm for me to wear. Good timing, me. So my final whip, I feel like I'm racing through this bit. I chat for ages and then I race through my projects because I don't have anything new or interesting to share with you. And then then it's done, then that's it, you know. My final whip isn't a unicorn. It's not. I really want it to be. It's actually a hoe. I've got a sock on the needles. I hinted at it. I explicitly said it earlier. But I cast on a sock for Mario's birthday and then haven't knit it. Because once again, I was technically going to be saving it for Yorkshire Yarn Fest, so I can knit it there, but now it's redundant. Now I can just actually knit it. So this is my hoe. I have knit Mario a sock. I'm using 2.5mm needles, 72 stitches, 2x2 rib for 15 rounds. Then I switched to 3x1 rib because then it should fit well to his foot. And my heel of choice for Mario's sock is the New Depths heel, which is a pattern by my good friend and birthday girl yesterday, Becky Sorensen. You might have seen my incredibly embarrassing dance party on Instagram. Yes, it's just a really great short row heel, very easy to knit. Much enjoy knitting it. And yeah, this is my contribution to my knit along that I've forgotten to mention. Can you tell I'm a little out of practice of talking to a camera, seeing as my voice is going. I haven't been talking much today. I should have been singing while I did my makeup or something. I'm hosting a knit along. It's the CRITANDKNITKAL. I've been really excited seeing all of your knits while you crit. It's kind of a Dungeons and Dragons themed knit along, but I'm allowing other tabletop role-playing game themed patterns and yarns, as well as some Lord of the Rings, because it's kind of crossover. Dungeons and Dragons was inspired by Lord of the Rings, so it kind of works. It's not Harry Potter themed, but that's also okay. But yeah, this is part of my CRITANDKNITKAL because I'm using chromatic yarns, which is my yarn, which is inspired by Dungeons and Dragons, which is kind of exactly the point of the knit along. And this is in the colour Craven Edge. It's gorgeous. I love it. Kind of want a jumper in it. And I'm going to be having hordes of this going in the shop. I'm going to be having hordes going in the shop this Saturday. This is going to be my biggest shop update I ever would have done. Quite excited. So this is on my sturdy sock base, which is 75% Superwash Blueface Leicester, 25% nylon. Craven Edge is a sword from the live streaming show. I don't know if that's what you can call it. Critical Role, campaign 1, the OG, and yeah, the Goliath gets given it, and it's an evil sword. But yeah. This was Craven Edge. This was part of my Knit a Carol Yarn Club last year. And yeah, I'm loving it. It's a really nice colour. And I mean, I'm knitting it for man socks, but I don't think it has to be for man socks. I mean, Mario would honestly wear any colour of sock that I give him. So I don't know why I make the comment of man socks. I don't think there is such a thing as man sock colours. Because you can wear whatever colour socks you want. I don't have socks on today, I'm wearing tights, which is a little unusual because I've been living in jeans, but I thought I'd make an effort for you. You can't even fully see me. Yeah, I'm wearing a cardigan that my mum knit for me, which I think is a little bit too small. It's because I've been eating quite a lot since the wedding, and she did it to my measurements just before the wedding. So I've become slightly chunkier than I was then, but that's fine. It stretches, it still kind of fits, it works. Especially if I slouch, you can't really see how it fits and you can't look too closely. It's all good, it's all good. Yes, so this sock, yeah, that's it. The progress keeper I'm using to keep track of what side is the right side, there is no right side, which side is the beginning, is this little hot cross bun, because hot cross bun season is upon us. And I've been eating a fair amount of them. Whenever Mario texts me when he's leaving work and he says, do you want something picking up? I often respond with, are there any hot cross buns left? Because I freaking love them. Also, Tough Mary's in Nottingham, which is where Mario works. Tough Mary's in Nottingham does the most delicious hot cross buns. So if you're in Nottingham, get yourself some hot cross buns. They're currently doing delivery service with this weird time that's happening that I forgot to mention for about a quarter of an hour. Yes, that stitch marker is by Tiny Sugar, who I believe is Tiny Sugar Store on Etsy. She is in Portugal, and yeah, I bought this last year, 1, 2, 3, along with a pastéis de nata for Becky for her birthday, which is real cute, because I know that she loves Portugal and she loves pastéis de nata, which are these little custard tart things. They're so delicious. Oh my god, I think I just really want cake. I think that's what's happening right now. I think I just really want to eat some cake. It could also be because it's 11 and I haven't eaten anything yet today, and I'm only on cup of tea number 2. There's many contributing factors, but this is generally how my everyday diet goes. I don't really feel hungry for ages and ages and ages, and then I'm like, oh, I'm actually starving. Not actually starving, figuratively. But yeah, I've just finished the cuff. I've just started doing the leg of the sock. This is the incredibly cute stitch marker, and yeah, I'm really liking how this yarn is knitting up. This is my very unattractive ball. Not the first time I've heard that. Yeah, basic Craven Edge. I'm going to be having it in the shop on Saturday along with many other things. So I suppose I should I've not bought anything yarn wise. I'm just having a look and seeing, but I'm pretty sure I haven't bought any yarn for ages, like a really long time. That is going to be fixed this weekend because it's important to support your favourite indie dyers while you can, if you can. There's no pressure, of course, but many of us do heavily rely on shows. I am fortunate enough that I am not necessarily in that ballpark because all of you lovely lot are great, but this is my sole source of income, is my business, which in you know, let's be completely frank, in current times is a non-essential, but tell you what, knitting will help to distract you. We should have a Corona cast on. Is that awful? Is that tasteless? That might be tasteless. Is it? Oh, if I can't tell, it probably is. Let's not dive into that too much more. But I think I want to knit a jumper. I can't remember what plan I had for this. I had a plan. This is why I should write things down. But I actually might be able to get through a bit of my stash now. I don't have an immediate show to prep for. I kind of do if the Walmarty goes ahead. See, shows being cancelled is bad because obviously for many reasons, but it's frustrating because I've been working for the past, since before Christmas, I've been prepping for this show. I like to try and break up. Buying bare yarn in is expensive, especially when you're dyeing it and hoarding it ready for a show, because you then can't sell it and get your money back to then buy more. Does that make sense? So stitch markers is fine. The most expensive part of making stitch markers is time, and also my hand health, which like my thumb is terrible at the moment. Ugh, ugh, so sore, as is this finger. But that's by the by. A bit of moisturiser will hopefully fix it over time. But yes, it gets expensive. So in order to be able to buy yarn to prep for the show, I also needed to do shop updates and clubs and whatnot, as everyone does. I'm not just saying that this is a me problem. This isn't everyone problem that sells yarn and preps for shows. So yeah, I've just been working my little butt off trying to build up to it for it to be cancelled. It's just kind of annoying. So on Saturday, I am going to be having the biggest shop update I ever will have had. I showed on my Instagram stories yesterday that currently, sat in a little thing over there, I've got 390 stitch markers just sat there, just waiting to be sold. Now, I'm not going to be selling all of these because that's a lot of packaging. Also, if my next 2 shows are happening, I actually do need to have some for them. So I'm holding back and saving some of them, but I will be putting over 150 stitch markers in my shop. In fact, they're already scheduled and ready to go, organised. Yes, so I'm going to be putting over 150 stitch markers in my shop, which is madness. I've never put that many stitch markers in my shop before. My biggest stitch marker shop update before that was after I did Nottingham Yarn Expo, and I only had 90 stitch markers going in. I say only very loosely. So yes, it's going to be my biggest shop update I've ever done. I'm also going to be putting so many skeins of yarn in. Of all the colourways I've dyed, I think I've dyed 16 colourways. I could do maths right now, but I'm not very good at my 16 times table. But of these 16 colourways that I've got ready to go, I've got 6 skeins of merino sock, which is 85% superwash merino at 15% nylon, and it is the softest yarn ever. I've got 6 skeins of each colour going in there. 6 times 16, so that's 36, 60, that's 96 skeins there alone, if my maths is right. If I do maths that quickly, I always think it's wrong. And then I've got 3 skeins of sturdy sock and 3 skeins of sturdy DK of each of those colourways going in. So that's another 6, that's another 96, that's 180, 192. Once again, if my maths is right. And then I've also got, I mean, some of those, it might be a bit less actually, but I've also got 6 of my fade kits going in. So I've got these ones, I've got 3 of these going in, and I've got 3 of my golden fade kit going in, and then I've got 4 or 2 lots of 2 different colours of my 3 colour shawl kits going in. I've done a pink one and I've done a blue one. It's very exciting. And yeah, it's a lot of yarn. I'm very excited. I'm very excited. I mean, I won't be excited come Monday when I have to package all of it, but I am also very excited. And yes, my current job after I finish filming this and maybe editing it, depends how much I can put it off, is to basically get all of the yarn out that I have prepped for the show and lay it all out and set stuff aside that I need to photograph and put stuff online that I don't need to photograph and do all that business, because I haven't done that yet. And I'm tempted to bring up my grid wall and set it up just here like I did before and put them all out just for ease. Or maybe I'll just tidy my craft room. There could be many things I could do. The world is my oyster. So yes, that is happening this Saturday from 9 AM GMT. That is when my shop is going to be updated. And for all of you living in the UK, I am going to be offering free UK postage to all of you. It will apply instantly at the checkout. At least it should. If it doesn't, let me know. But yeah, free UK postage to everyone in the UK. Regardless of how much you've spent, because essentially if you were coming to the show you wouldn't have to pay postage anyway. Does that make sense? So yeah, and yesterday I sat down and priced up my advent calendar. So I think I priced it up. I don't know if I've done it right. It's a very stressful thing, advent calendars. So that will be going on sale next week. Maybe next Friday. Maybe next Friday. I'll let you know. Check out Instagram. Yes, so that is very exciting. This is my first advent calendar I've ever done. I've had a lot of fun planning and sorting out a couple of extra bits to go in it. And it's going to be 24 mini skeins. One full-size skein for Christmas Day. There were 20 gram mini skeins, and they're all going to be on my sturdy sock base, which is my BFL nylon. I feel like I'm losing my voice. I'm talking too much. I'm not used to it. I've not done much talking. And yeah, there's going to be extras and goodies also going in it, which is very exciting, and I'm very much looking forward to it. I had an initial number that I was going to do, a number of them I was going to do, but now I'm saying it out loud. It feels like a lot. Where's my other end? Here? No, here. Yeah, now I'm saying it out loud, it feels like a lot of yarn and work, but may also be fun. So the goal is to sell them in batches, hopefully. So hopefully everyone gets a chance of doing it, and I'll try and do them at different times. So if you're in different time zones, you'll still be able to get it. And then in theory, I want to have them sent out by, I don't know, I kind of want to have them sent out before I go to Rhinebeck. So that's like October time, like mid-October. So yeah, that is the POA. Busy, 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 busy. I'll be fine. I'll get it done. Hopefully. Well, and also if I start kind of getting an idea for numbers now, I can break up the cost of buying all of the mini skeins and yarns and such. Oh, that was a nice stretch. Oh, that was a good stretch. And the time it takes to do them. So hopefully I stay on top of things and not behind things. But it's not going to be a fade. I do not have the foresight to do that. I think it's just going to be random. It's going to be sporadic. It's going to be a mix of colours you've already seen. It's going to be some new colours. It's just going to be, because I think that's how my brain works the best. Some people are very meticulous. Some people are very organised. Some people are like, right, this will fade into this and this and this and this and this. Oh, how beautiful. Unfortunately, that's not how I work that well. So I'm a bit more chaotic. Chaotic good, I think, is my alignment. I don't know, I'm pretty lawful. Maybe I'm lawful good. Just when it comes to my approach to things, it's more chaotic. I don't know. Because I put my D&D character, which is essentially a slightly heightened version of me, I've put her as lawful neutral good? Maybe neutral good? Anyway, Mario said that she is definitely chaotic good. She doesn't even intend to be. I'm like, oh, okay. Hadn't meant to be playing her as chaotic good, but also how fun. So yes, I hope that you're all well. I hope you're all staying safe. I hope you're all doing okay. I think I'm going to try to do a few more YouTube videos and put them up for you for while you're in isolation or quarantining yourself or whatnot. Because you know that I can talk about nothing for a really long period of time, as I've exercised today. Although it's but going to be a bit of a shorter podcast than my previous two because I'm not sitting here showing you everything that's going in the shop because that would take me far too long. But yes, I hope that you're all well and that you're all keeping safe, staying healthy, washing your hands, eating vegetables, getting enough sleep, and that you're doing everything you can to protect not only your physical health but your mental health, because this week I got very stressed out that I was breathless and whatnot, and I was like, my God, I have it. I didn't have it. It was my anxiety. I just never experienced breathlessness with my anxiety before. I had no other symptoms. I didn't have a temperature. I didn't have a cough. It was just stress. Because I was frantically looking to see if Yorkshire Yarn Fest would get cancelled. Now it has been. I've relaxed a bit more, and once again I'm in the surreal bubble of this can't all be real. This can't be happening because this has never happened before and this is weird. Might just be me. Right, I might put my boots on and go for a bit of a stroll. I will double check the weather. It's not going to rain because this hair does not uphold against water very well. And I keep waking up with like red neck. It's a really good time. It's really fun. Brightly coloured hair. Gotta love it. It's such a faff. Cold showers, stained face, stained bed sheets, stained towels. Not washing your hair as often as you think you should. Dry shampoo being your best friend. Love it. Yes, so I hope you're all staying well, staying healthy, staying safe, keeping out of trouble, and we're all going to be okay because this is all going to pass and we'll all be hopefully better off after it. I say that, I have no clue. We might not be. The world is a fun mystery, and the joy is we get to live through it and discover together what happens. Usually when I get to this point, I should stop talking and wrap it up because I completely tuned out of what my mouth was saying just then. Yes, I hope that you're all well and staying safe. If you'd like to follow me on social media, please feel free. Links can all be found in the description box below, as well as a link to the Ravelry group. I can't believe I forgot to do that at the top of the episode. I might have to do it now and edit it in so you don't notice. We'll see. And with all that being said, I will see you very soon in my next video. Thank you all so much for your support and your love and your kind words. And yeah, I'll speak to you all soon. Bye.